By the way, speaking of schedules, we have here the most difficult and the least difficult schedules in the league. The most difficult schedule is the Rams. Tell me how far-fetched it is that the Rams might actually struggle to make the playoffs. I could realistically see them being a wild card. So, number one, obviously they didn't look good against the Bills, and I'm not going to say this just because you're playing the Bills, but what sucks about going to the Super Bowl is you play really, really, really good teams the next year. Right? I don't know what's going on there with Cam Akers. I don't even want to talk about it, because that just sucks for all fantasy football managers. Everybody thought Cam Akers would be amazing. So I'm not freaking out about the Rams in that sense. You have no margin of error when you have the most difficult schedule. Could you pull up the Rams schedule here?
Let's look at it.
So here's the Rams schedule. So they lost to the Bills, right? Falcons game, Cardinals game. Okay, those are two games you kind of should and almost have to win. All the gimme games, they have to win. 49ers are going to give them a tough time all the time. I don't know about the Cardinals. The Cowboys, this got a whole lot easier for them. There's no Dak Prescott, so good there. Panthers, absolute win. 49ers are going to give you a tough time. Buccaneers are going to give you a tough time. Cardinals, do they give you a tough time at least once? Maybe. We'll have to see. Saints are going to give you a tough time. This is my big for this year. I really think the Saints are going to be absolutely nasty this year. I think their defense is so good. I want to see Jameis play well, so I don't think that game's a gimme either. Chiefs, obviously that's a difficult game. Seahawks, you have to win. You have no choice. You have to win that game because look at how difficult your schedule is. Then you play the Raiders, going to be a tough game. Packers, they look like shit, but it's going to be a tough game.
They should be a lot more in form by the time of this season, I would say.
Absolutely. Broncos, that should be a very difficult game. That's on Christmas. Chargers, absolutely a difficult game, and then you have to beat the Seahawks. So your margin of error is like 0.
Right.
You have to win every single gimme game, and then you have to put up a great fight against the good teams every time. Because if you don't, like, imagine you lose one of those games, because upsets happen all the time. Imagine you lose one of those Seahawks games, or one of the, I don't know, you lose the Seahawks game and you lose the Panthers game, somehow lose the Cowboys game. You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You're fighting for a wild card
spot.
They're
already starting out 0-1 too. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, and you're pretty handicapped. So that's just tough. And then if we go look at the easiest schedules in the league.
Yes.
Now, dude, this is why I was so high on the Cowboys. I was so high on the Cowboys, like winning the East and then going deep into the playoffs. If it wasn't for the Eagles, I do love the Eagles too. I'm kind of bandwagoning them because they have such an easy schedule.
Yeah.
Such an easy schedule. And now Dak's gone. And all of a sudden, I don't want to look at the Cowboys schedule. Can you take me to the Washington Commanders schedule?
Okay.
All of a sudden, the Commies actually might have a fast track to a wild card playoff. Like, the Commies might make the playoffs. Look at this schedule. All right. I don't want to look at everything in a vacuum, right? Because things change.
Yes.
But they play the Lions. The spread's like 0.1 or like +1.
Yep.
They play the Eagles. Yeah, they probably lose that game, in my opinion. They play the Cowboys. Without Dak, that team is shit. That's my opinion on it. Titans just lost to the Giants. They play the Bears. That team is shit. Play the Packers. Who even knows about the Packers? The Colts tied the Texans. Vikings will probably whoop their ass. Do they squeak one out from the Eagles? Maybe not. The Texans are shit. The Falcons are shit. The Giants are shit. The Giants are shit. Niners are good. The Browns are shit. The Cowboys are shit. Bro! Tell me how the Commies go to the fucking offs, dude. They actually could realistically get a wild card
Since
playoff.
when do teams play each other back to back?
I have never seen that, actually. I have no idea.
I've never seen this before. At the Giants and at what? Never seen that.
I actually have no idea. I've never seen that either. So I think overall, I think the Eagles are just going to take the NFC East by storm. Like, I think they're going to have a great record and just take the NFC East. But dude, the Commies could actually, the Commies would be the team that's going to get spanked in round 1. But that's pretty fucking cool, dude, to take a team like that to playoffs. So the Commies really struggled.
I'm looking at the leagues here. In the AFC West, I might have to say would be the most difficult conference.
AFC West is the most
Broncos,
difficult.
Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers.
There's no question. That is the most stacked.
That is so stacked. But wouldn't you say, I mean, the Cowboys weren't the worst team in the NFL last year. Why doesn't like the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Lions have the easiest schedule?
Because you have to play teams in your division twice a year.
True.
So teams in the Lions division just happen to be good. Like the Bears, not so much, but the Vikings and the Packers, they got to play them twice a year no matter what.
Right.
So you need two things. To have the easiest schedule in the NFL, you need two things. You need a bad record the first year.
And then your division sucks.
And then your division also has to suck.
Right.
And the NFC East sucks. At least they did. And you know what they do now too? They fucking suck now too, in my opinion. I don't think they're the worst, but I don't know. I don't think the Giants can keep it up. Not with Daniel Jones back there. The Commies, I mean, if the Commies have a shot at a wild card playoff, that tells you all you need to know about the NFC East.
With Carson Wentz playing like he's been.
He did have an amazing week
1, I guess I should say.
We gotta celebrate. We gotta celebrate.